your loose units, and welcome back to another episode of Spicy Boy Reviews. I'm, of course, your host, Andrew Iles. Hope you've been looking after yourselves, looking after each other, pulling your heads in and all that jazz. Here we are for another week, another review, another movie. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Today we are reviewing Malignant. Spooky shit starts happening in Madison's world as she starts seeing visions of murders that become a reality. The plot thickens as things get creepier and creepier, and people suspect that Madison is losing her mind. Is there some supernatural argy-bargy at play? Tune in to find out in Malignant. And that's a synopsis / rundown of the new horror film Malignant, directed by Aussie boy James Wan. We all know what he's famous for, absolutely. He's created a subgenre of horror in the gore porn film mythology. He's also breathed life back into the Fast and the Furious franchise, making one of the best installments of that series. Of course, he adapted a comic book character who talks to fishes, a financial success / blockbuster. And of course, he is a god-tier director for horror. We open the film on Arkham Asylum, where the shit has really hit the fan. We get a lot of vibrant colours of reds and greens, with more filters than a Zoomer's Instagram page. The movie is already giving off a very comic book vibe to it, to its aesthetic as well, with the camera angles, the shots, the colours, and the acting choices. Then we flash forward to present day and are introduced to our protagonist, who is called Madison, played by Annabelle Wallis. Here she is a pregnant nurse who lives with her abusive cunt of a husband. They both live in the most haunted house on the block, that's right. I swear to God, if a real estate agent took my fiancé and I here to see this house to inspect to possibly live in the future, I'd be like, this place can fuck right off. I wouldn't be surprised if it was built on a burial ground. It doesn't take long for creepy shit to start happening, and of course it doesn't take long for Madison's arsehole partner to get the old murder treatment, and unfortunately Madison ends up losing her child, and we discover it's child number 3. Then mysterious murders begin to happen, and Madison sees it play out in real time. What's happening? Why is she seeing this? What's going on? Not to worry though, we have Detective Not Wanda Sykes on the case, and her partner Detective Mr. Handsome Face. I swear, it seems like every woman in this film is really down to fuck him. What did you do there, you cheeky bloody actor? Did you slip the writer of this movie a cheeky $100 note and a gram of coke for that little side plot? Oh, you dirty dog. Our killer here is kept in the shadows until the climax / end of the film, of course, but it's giving off a very The Grudge or The Ring vibe. You know the cliche, contorted body, long dark hair draped over the face, that sort of thing. We then discover as the story unravels that our protagonist here, Madison, has a very mysterious past. A lot of it gets told via VHS. You know that creepy medium from the 90s? Ooh. I wonder if in like 20 years time in creepy horror films if they're going to have like creepy Blu-rays or something like that instead of the common trope now, which is like Polaroid photos and VHS. There's some pretty shonky dialogue here too. The script wasn't great and some really over-the-top bad acting, to say the least. Like, things would happen, there would be a little reveal, and then the character would literally say what just happened. It's like, dude, I know. I was there. The second half of the film is definitely the best part of the movie as the story starts to unravel, and then we get the reveal / twist of who the killer is. And my God, what the actual fuck? It was one of the most original twists of a horror villain that I've ever seen. Although, the twist of this killer, there was kind of a hint of this in another previous Warner Brothers property in early 2000s, but that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to say what movie it was or what it was, because I don't want to spoil it. I want you to see the reveal yourself. But this was the most original horror film villain since, I don't know, Jeepers Creepers. We do get some epic cinematic fight scenes in the last 20 minutes of the film, and some delicious, justifiable gore. Apparently there was speculation that this was an adaptation of a graphic novel called Malignant Man, and I can heavily see why, because it's a very cinematic sort of comic book style film. But James Wan has come out and said, no, this is a completely original idea, thriller, horror, whatever, had nothing to do with the graphic novel. But it's obvious to see that this film was heavily inspired by comic books as a medium, the way it's shot. There's of course a few jump scares, because it's a modern horror film, there bloody well has to be. But they fizzle out in the second half of the film. There's some jump scares that are actually legitimately more creative than others, but yeah, by the second half, they're sort of, null and void. They're out of the film. The score is epic as fuck. It's pretty massive, like it's like a comic book epic film or whatever. And there's some music choices that are very bold, with juxtaposing what's ever happening in the scene given, which I loved. I love that sort of thing. The set dressing is A+. The cinematography is A+, 10 out of 10. Really, really epic and cinematic. Yeah, it's great. But probably more so than the film needed or deserved at times. Recommended? Absolutely. This film, the second half is better than the first. But I say, purely go see it for the reveal alone. Like I said, it was the most original horror reveal villain that I've ever seen on screen, ever. It's absolutely fucking batshit crazy. A little bit stupid if you really think about it and like dissect it, but by all means, it was wholeheartedly original, the reveal, and I think it saved the film. It was fucking awesome. Like I said, the cinematography was awesome, very cinematic. Yeah, 2 thumbs up for me, just because it was fun. Anyway, guys, that's my review of Malignant. I do recommend it because it is so batshit crazy. Yeah, if you've made it this far into the episode, please give us a like because your love and support keeps this channel alive and we appreciate it. And write down below, what is your favourite James Wan film? He's tackled a lot of genres. Yeah, one of my favourite ones is Death Sentence. I highly recommend that movie. It is also, if you like a John Wick revenge film with a bit of gore, it's awesome. But yeah, write down below, what's your favourite James Wan film? And of course, hit that subscribe icon because we get out episodes weekly. And yeah, we'll see you next week for another episode. And as always, stay spooky, kids.